Welcome to the Heart Guardian, podcast for healthy heart. I'm Dr. Aman Kapoor, your host. Join us on this journey towards healthier heart. In partnership with Maharashtra Institute of Health Sciences, Chair of Preventive Cardiology and Madhabag Institute of Preventive Cardiology, we are here to provide you with valuable insights and tips for keeping your heart healthy. Our goal is to empower you with latest information on heart health, prevention strategies, and overall well-being. We will cover various topics including risk factors, lifestyle diseases, and advancements in preventive cardiology. With the support of our expert team, we will guide you towards informed decisions for keeping your heart healthy. Whether you're looking for preventing heart disease or managing your existing conditions, Heart Guardian is your companion. So sit back, relax, and join me in this journey towards keeping your heart healthy. Let's join with our expert today and understand how you can make your heart healthier with the Heart Guardian. I always joke and say, when you take tension, you get hypertension. My dear friends, hypertension or high blood pressure is one of the biggest leading factors of decreasing your heart health and making you more prone to getting heart attacks. In India and in world over, there is a huge population of people who are suffering from hypertension and are struggling to live a life that is free of hypertension. Joining me in this podcast is Dr. Jagdish S. Hiramat sir, Chair of Preventive Cardiology at Maharashtra Institute of Health Sciences. Hiramat sir, hypertension is a question that really brings a lot about tension in us. Please guide us around this topic, how we can take care, prevent ourselves from the trauma of getting hypertension. Over to you, sir.
We shall take some information related to hypertension or high blood pressure. When the heart pumps out blood into the main artery, that's the aorta, and its various branches, about 70 ml of blood is pushed out with each contraction. This 70 ml flows to smaller arteries, capillaries, all of it equally well distributed throughout the body. In 1 minute, the heart pumps out about 5 liters of blood. This blood moves into arteries and its branches in a form of a wave. The top of the wave is known as the systolic blood pressure, and the bottom of the wave is known as the diastolic blood pressure. All human organs are designed to function or work at their best at a blood pressure of 120 by 80 millimeters of mercury. It is nature's miracle that millions of people would have the exact blood pressure of 120 by 80 millimeters of mercury. High blood pressure, hypertension, or the disease part starts when the blood pressure starts remaining persistently above 140 millimeters of mercury. At any age, anyone having a blood pressure above 140 systolic or 90 diastolic would be called a hypertensive individual. These blood pressure measurements have to be standard and done for a number of times to ascertain that the blood pressure is really high and it's not just a one-off reading. For this, all of us must know how to record blood pressure at home. The BP apparatus must be an absolute must for every household, like a thermometer is. So when you want to record blood pressure on any electronic equipment, sit on a chair in front of a table, place both your feet on the ground, not cross but separated. Your back must rest on the back of the chair. Your arm should be on the table almost horizontally. So top of the table, the machine, the arm and the heart should be almost at one horizontal plane. Once you do this, your arm should not have any cloth on it, so the cuff should go on a bare arm. Once you are connected like this, sit in a chair for 60 seconds doing nothing. Once 60 seconds are over, start the machine. What you get is 3 readings: systolic blood pressure, the diastolic blood pressure, and the pulse rate. Note all of them down or take a photograph of the monitor. You should record this blood pressure when it is a resting state. That means there is no meal within half an hour, no smoke within half an hour, no exercise, no emotional excitement. So I would say somewhere on a Sunday afternoon between 3 and 4 is the ideal way to record this blood pressure. It is estimated that about 33% of the population above 40 years of age would be hypertensive in India. This means any 3 individuals meet, one will have hypertension. So don't be surprised if it comes your way just by the way of statistics. Of course, a person who is overweight, non-exercising, high-strung emotionally, or snores a lot, an aggressive personality, or has a family history is likely to get hypertension more often than those who do not have these risk factors. If hypertension occurs without any obvious reason, it's known as the essential hypertension. While secondary hypertension has a cause like a kidney disease or something, essential hypertension is the most common form of hypertension that we see and accounts for about 90% of all the high blood pressure individuals. Blood pressure measured in the doctor's clinic is known as the office blood pressure, and measured at home is called as a home BP. There is an equipment called ambulatory blood pressure monitoring when the apparatus stays with the individual for 24 hours. And about 35 to 40 readings are done throughout 24 hours, including sleep. The ambulatory blood pressure monitoring is a specialized subject more for research and for doctors to interpret. White coat hypertension is a peculiar blood pressure in which when a person sees a doctor's white coat or the hospital, it goes up. This is a very well-known entity throughout the world. This means the office blood pressure is high and the home blood pressure is normal. The reverse of that is known as a masked hypertension, in which the office blood pressure is normal, but at home, due to home stresses or so many other reasons, it is high. Both the white coat and the masked hypertensions need multiple readings done at home or do an ambulatory blood pressure monitoring so that the medication can be adjusted accordingly. When blood pressure happens for the first time, one of the commonest symptoms is to get headache at the back of the neck between 2 ears. Other than this, there could be general headache, dizziness, breathlessness, some chest pain or uneasiness due to high blood pressure. Some of the patients would remain completely symptom-free and are accidentally diagnosed when a casual blood pressure reading is done when you buy a new apparatus or maybe at a blood donation camp. Once it is ascertained that an individual has high blood pressure, certain tests are carried out, and these investigations include the ECG, sometimes an echocardiogram, blood tests like blood sugar, cholesterol, creatinine for the kidneys are done. Other specialized tests, I think we should leave it to the doctor's discretion. In the doctor's examination, examining the pulse of the legs at the ankles is an important examination. After the diagnosis of high blood pressure, lifestyle changes have to be introduced. Weight has to be optimized, and obese individuals are asked to lose 10% of the original weight and come to a BMI of about 23 or 24. Salt restriction helps a great deal, and hypertensive individuals are allowed intake of salt to about 5 to 6 grams, which is a teaspoonful filled flat. You would be amazed to know that an average Indian consumes about 13 grams of salt per day. So once you are a hypertensive, avoid added salt, pickle, papads, chutneys, namkeens. It's anyway prudent to control these even without hypertension. Aerobic exercises up to 150 minutes per week are advocated. Stress management techniques in any form like hobbies, social interactions, yoga, meditation are highly effective. A diet which is predominantly vegetarian, smaller in quantities, uncooked food, more of fresh fruit and vegetable, is high in potassium, so is good diet for hypertension. If after lifestyle modification, the blood pressure continues to be above 140 millimeters of mercury, then allopathic, Ayurvedic, homeopathic treatments are available. Whichever medicine is taken, The aim is to remain below 135 millimeters of mercury at all the ages. Elderly people can get dizziness due to blood pressure below 135. For them, one may allow a blood pressure of about 140 millimeters of mercury. Generally, tighter is the control close to the normal, the better are the outcomes. If blood pressure remains uncontrolled for a number of years, HMOD happens, that is hypertension-mediated organ dysfunction. It can be nasty ones like bleeding inside the brain or a heart attack or a kidney failure, and the list is long, so it is prudent to control blood pressure below 135 millimeters of mercury. Usually there is a reluctance to accept high blood pressure as a disease and a bigger reluctance to continue medication lifelong. But remaining with uncontrolled blood pressure lifelong is definitely more harmful than continuing with a tablet or two lifelong. Every tablet can have a side effects which depend on our body, but the side effects are not to be worried about. The effect is more important, and allow your doctor to take the correct decision. If blood pressure is well controlled with minimum drugs and good lifestyle modification, the outcomes are as good as any other individual without hypertension. A hypertensive individual can live for decades together without any complications. I look at hypertension as a refractory error of the eyes. If one cannot see well, one approaches the eye doctor and gets the numbers corrected. Then we start wearing glasses. Even if it starts at the age of 4, we start wearing glasses knowing fully that it's going to be a lifelong affair. If we think of these glasses, which would mean expenses, contact lenses, frequent checks, it would also mean accident, loss of spectacles, broken glasses, the complications appear very bothersome. But overall, glasses are so well tolerated and have become an integral part of modern day living. Hypertension almost amounts to the same. It is 33%. It can have its own problems, but managed with science and common sense, one can lead an extremely decent life and have a good long-term outcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jagdish Hiremat sir, for generously sharing your expertise and insights with us today. Your valuable contributions have brought immense value to our discussion and inspired us to prioritize our heart health and take proactive steps towards healthier heart future. Now, armed with this knowledge gained from this conversation, I'm sure, friends, it's time for action. Embrace the power you hold to make positive changes in your life, nurturing the well-being of your heart. Remember to stay connected with us by subscribing to our podcast, following us on social media, and you can find a wealth of resources in the upcoming episodes filled with informative discussions and practical tips to support your healthy heart. Thank you for being an essential part of Heart Guardian podcast for Healthy Heart. Together we can make and create a future where our hearts beat stronger and we live life to the fullest. Our heart and your heart matters. We are here to support you in every way. Goodbye for today.